Item on the agenda is roll call. Brian, will you lead us in the pledge? I'm sorry, Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now it's roll call. Mr. Moran is here. Mr. Rathel's excused. Mr. Mans?
Here.
Mr. Filarski?
Here.
Mr. Hornby?
Here.
Mr. Loftus?
Here.
Mr. Nadu?
Here.
The next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda, and we need to add a second action item that reads approval for the proposed site plan for the construction of the new hangar for Mr. Charles Howey.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Loftus.
Support.
Support by Mr. Mans. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Next item is the approval of the minutes of the June 17th, 2024 meeting. It's our general meeting.
I move that the minutes be approved as published.
Motion by Mr. Loftus. Supported by Mr. Filarski. Is there any further discussion?
I'm going to abstain because I missed that meeting.
Let the record reflect that Mr. Nadu is going to abstain. So we have a motion by Mr. Loftus, supported by Mr. Filarski. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Next item is our financial report. It's the approval of the June 2024 financials. If somebody wants to make a motion, we can have some discussion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Nadu,
I will support it.
supported by Mr. Loftus. Under discussion, our revenue is budgeted for the year at $1,656,967. Our year-to-date revenue is $354,496, and that equals just over 21% of the budgeted year. Our expenditures are budgeted at the same $1,656,967. And our year-to-date encumbrances and expenditures are $233,099, and that is 14% of our budget. We currently have capital reserves as of the end of June of $872,633, and we have past due rent as of July 12th of $21,840. Janelle is not able to be with us tonight, so I don't know if anybody has any questions as they reviewed their financial report, but I have nothing new to report other than what's in the packet tonight.
We haven't had any updates on the legal actions. Just let that run its course.
We have not, and I'm not sure if Janelle was, she unexpectedly was unable to be here tonight, so she might have an update, but
Okay.
don't know.
I have no questions.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, we have a motion by Mr. Nadu, supported by Mr. Loftus. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Our next action item, or action item number 1, is the approval of the 518 Biddle LLC lease agreement. And we have a motion in front of us that reads, based upon the recommendation from the Grosse Ile Airport manager, the Airport Commerce Park Commission hereby approves a building lease with 518 Biddle LLC for Building 63, which is located at 27502 Meridian, Unit 200, for $1,200 a month. The lease is for 1 year from July 1, 2024 through June 30th, 2025. In a $1,200 a month lease comes out to a total of $14,400 a year, and that equals $8.48 a square foot annually. Any questions, comments?
Well, I'll move we consider I'll move for the approval and to open up for discussion.
Sure. Motion by Mr. Loftus. Support. Support by Mr. Mans. Mr. Loftus.
Yeah, Building 63, part of the Old Navy, And, gosh, it's been a bunch of dozen other uses. What is 518 Biddle? Maybe I should have done some more homework, but I'm not unaware of what 518 Biddle is and what they're,
My understanding is it's a tenant that's just relocating from one spot to another.
oh, okay.
It's a current tenant.
I guess he's paid in full, judged by the financials, so let's keep him on board. No further questions?
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, we have a motion by Mr. Loftus, supported by Mr. Bands. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Action item number 2 is the approval for the proposed site plan for the construction of the new hangar for Mr. Charles Howey. And we have a resolution in front of us that reads, based upon the recommendation of the Grosse Ile Airport Commerce Park Manager, the Grosse Ile Airport Commerce Park Commission hereby approves the proposed site plan for the construction of a new hangar for Mr. Charles Howey. And I know Janelle has been working with them over the past several months to get approvals from, or our CADX for approval for their CPC and other items that are related to the Planning Commission. So I would like to introduce Mr. Bob Howey, if you'd like to make a presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair Moran, and good evening, everyone, Commission members. Thanks for the opportunity. I'll just try to keep it at a brief 10,000-foot level, but what we're proposing is a 7,680 square foot facility. It's an 80 by 80 plane hangar, which is 6,400 square foot, and it has 1,280 square feet of business area that would be to the east. It's a pole barn structure, it'd be steel. We did have the preliminary meeting with the administration and the planner. I thought it was very fruitful, it was good. For the most part, everybody was on board, they felt comfortable. We just have to tidy up a couple things on the drawing. Our goal is to be submitting after, if we're successful getting a permission approval today, then we'll be moving forward with the Planning Commission next month. So everybody has a set of drawings. Hopefully they got the electronic file last week. I got a hard copy of it to everybody this week. It's unusual just because somebody's going to be putting a substantial investment into a piece of property that they don't own. It's a lease parcel. So that the lease the lease is roughly 145 by 207.6. So we're building on that's the overall area. We're building on approximately 2/3 of that, less than a half an acre. So like I said, it's pretty straightforward at 80 by 80, and then the hangar door faces due south. We're going to keep it approximately 20 feet off the existing concrete right along the fence line there. That may have to change. There's some storm sewer issues. We're trying to work out some finished grades as we continue to move forward with the site plan approval. And then once we get that, we'll work out the detailed engineering drawings. But so far, we did file, there was a question about the masonry and whatnot. So we have what we believe is full compliance with the zoning ordinance, and as well as with the requirements by you folks. And any questions that you may have?
Bob, what's your schedule?
So our schedule is to keep the ball rolling. So once we get approval this evening, we're going to shoot for the site plan approval, and then right from there, we're going to get right into construction drawings. And then I'm already meeting with some of the trades. We're trying to get some preliminary budget numbers. We're talking with some pre-engineered steel building manufacturers. So we feel that we'll definitely get this thing going in fall. But we're just trying to work out. The more things we look into, there's some challenges that we just need to work through.
Thank you.
Completion, Bob, will be next year.
Next year sometime. I mean, once they get the skeleton up, then we have heat in the building. Then we're going to be working through. There'd be no reason not to. I mean, I think most people know I'm also Bob the Builder, so once I start a project, we need to work feverishly to get it finished up. It doesn't make any sense to drag anything out. I think it's just looking at the building and the existing structures that are there, this will be a nice looking building.
Lots of grass to cut.
Any other questions for Bob? Anybody? No. Well, we're looking forward to seeing a finished product, and good luck at the Planning Commission, and glad to have a new tenant at the airport. So.
Sure. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
There's no other questions. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Support.
Good.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Loftus, supported by Mr. Mans. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No? Motion carries. Next item is our discussion items, and with Janelle not being here tonight, we have none of either discussion items or manager's report. So we'll move on to the next item, which is our subcommittee report. Mr. Loftus.
I'd like to, yeah, it is working. I'd like to just bring the commission up to speed on the History on Wheels, the air show that we had at Hangar 1 Saturday. Weather was absolutely perfect. Whoever arranged that, thank you. Exceptional turnout. This is the bigger picture. This is a community event. This is how our airport, one of the many ways our airport brings value to the community. And it was well attended. We had, I think about 70 cars. We had a C-47 and a UH-1. Everybody remembers what the Huey was, a UH-1 helicopter from the formerly Yankee Air Museum, now the Michigan Museum of Flight. Just in getting involved in the history of aviation, and there was a lot of history of aviation here in Grosse Ile. Cars from all time eras, all levels of repair and disrepair. It was a good show though, and again, well attended. It was also a fundraiser. It was part of the funding was to support the Goodfellows. I have a number, but Goodfellows likes to keep that very quiet, so I won't elaborate, but it was a good number for them. Great support from the fire department. They were out here in force showing off their equipment. We also had the dive team, showing off their equipment, what they do. It was open to everybody. We had a Chinook down from Selfridge, a CH-47. It was just a good show, and again, perfect weather. My hat's off to Janelle and her staff, Frank and Lorenzo. The place was spotless. They were there moving things around from like sunrise until time to shut down. So those three put in a very long day, and I want to thank them. It showed. The place looked great, and looking forward to doing it again next year.
Good report, and thanks for those who attended, and hopefully every year it'll get bigger and better. So
there were two other major car shows. I mean, summers go fast here that we were competing with, and to get the kind of draw we did, it was good. And next year, I think we'll do better. So anyway, I reintroduced myself to some contacts, so maybe I can get some more military equipment in, and it was fun. I had fun.
thanks, Brian. Very good. Any questions for Brian? Comments? Hearing none, we'll move on to, is there any commission member reports? Anyone have anything to report tonight? No. Hearing none, we'll move on to the chairman's report. And just one item, Janelle and I had a chance to meet with Raines, and we are working on the location for the entryway sign into the airport. If you remember the landscape plan we did a number of years ago, as you dead end from Meridian into Grow, the idea is to put a sign right there, and we've got a location that's out of the county right away on our property that works, and Raines is working on the exact location of it. It's going to be very similar to the sign we have out here for the Commerce Park, probably not as high, but a little bit longer, and it will say Grosse Ile Airport on it. So Janelle's working on getting a price from the same contractor that did the sign for the Commerce Park. So as soon as we have that, we'll be bringing it before the board. So. And there's also been some discussion on the pond that we have there, that is a township pond that's, you know, at the beginning of our Commerce Park, so they're gonna do a clean out. And then there's some discussion about, maybe expanding it as, to look more like what was on our landscape, you know, our future landscape plan. So discussions are ongoing and, more to come on that, so.
Ron, question, will that sign be lit?
Yes.
Okay. No issues with any of the, there's a couple of houses there that,
Oh, no, I don't even,
okay.
yeah, it shouldn't affect that at all, so. We'll move on to a public comment. There's no one in public tonight, so our next item is a motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Filarski,
Support.
support by Mr. Nadu to adjourn at 6:15. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries.